Hey, what's good, y'all? This is Ryan Jackson from Ryan Jackson LLC. Hope you guys are having a blessed and wonderful day. Today is Monday, the first day of the work week, and we know what they say about Mondays. Whatever can go wrong will go wrong on a Monday, but we're not going to even put that out there. We're not going to put that into the universe. In the likelihood that you're not having a blessed and wonderful day, always know that tough times don't last, but tough people do. Keep your hope and trust and faith in Allah, God, and He will see you through. I could bear witness to that. Um, Couple people that a cousin, her father, my cousin's father-in-law, he passed away over the weekend. So they're in my thoughts and prayers. They have my deepest condolences. So y'all, please think of them right now. My cousin's father-in-law, he passed, I believe on yesterday. So my thoughts and condolences go out to them. He was a good man. I knew this gentleman. He was a good man. The couple times that I saw him and I met him, very, very good man. And I'm sorry to hear of him passing. My condolences, and my prayers are with my cousin and his family, and pray that God will console them and get them through this tough time. A coworker of mine had an unfortunate accident. He's in ICU right now, so my thoughts and prayers are with him and his family. He has a 2-year-old son. He suffered an unfortunate accident in his home. He was babysitting his son while this happened. So my prayers are with his family, with his wife especially, and with their son. I hope he has a speedy recovery. And thinking about the guy, he's a real good guy, very friendly, has a great sense of humor. So hope he pulls through. With that being said, this is a tough day for Lions fans. Yours truly. We had the game won. We up 17 points, 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. Dan Campbell decides to be Dan Campbell. On 4th and 2, we were driving. It was 4th down and 2. You at San Francisco's 28-yard line. Rewind. Before that, before halftime, we were driving down the field in San Francisco territory. I believe we were on their 3-yard line. Just kick the damn, just go for the touchdown. He decided to go for a field goal. Go for the touchdown, man. You'd have been up 28-7 going into the half instead of 24-7. 4-point difference. It's a big difference. You could have went up by 3 scores at halftime. You would have won the game. Yes, San Francisco would have made their run, but you're up by 3 scores. You had leverage. You could just run the ball and run the clock out. But he still elected to go for a field goal, and they were up 24-7. In the third quarter, going back to what I originally said, 8 minutes left in the third quarter. 4th and 2. Believe it was, yeah, 4th and 2. Instead of kicking the damn field goal, you on San Francisco's 28-yard line. Instead of kicking the damn field goal, you decide to go for it. Josh Reynolds should have caught the ball. Yes, he should have caught the ball. It was a catchable pass. He had alligator arms. Turnover on downs. 4th and 3, you decide to go for it. Jared Goff was rushed. He threw an errant pass. On uncatchable ball. But it was other times on 4th down where it was catchable passes and Reynolds dropped the ball. Literally speaking, drop passes. But I blame last night's loss on Dan Campbell. Dan Gamble. Field goals. When you shouldn't have kicked a field goal, you kick a field goal. When you should have kicked a field goal, you don't. You go for it. Why? Why? Makes no sense. Makes absolutely no sense at all. But that's Dan Gamble for you. He got away with it in the Dallas game. That was a regular season game. But this is you're minutes away from going to the Super Bowl. The Lions have never played in the Super Bowl. Minutes away, minutes. 20 some minutes away from going to the big dance, to going to the grand ball. And you pissed it away. You squandered it away, Dan Campbell. This loss is on you. Not on Jared Goff, not on Jahmyr Gibbs, even though he fumbled. Hasn't fumbled in God knows how long. Lions players haven't dropped, the receivers haven't dropped passes in God knows how long. They never turned the ball. They haven't had a turnover in weeks, going back to the regular season. They haven't been down, come from behind, been losing since the Dallas game. That was over a month ago. So, I mean, come on. Kind of makes you wonder. It makes you wonder. For those of who say, the fix was in, I could see their point. Me being one of them. Josh Reynolds having dropped passes, and God knows, I can't remember. He had 3 drop passes all year. But when it comes down to the championship game, now he can't catch catchable balls with no one around him. He all of a sudden he can't catch. All of a sudden we can't tackle. All of a sudden we fumble. Yeah, okay. Well, San Francisco came back. Yeah, they came back, but they had help from our stupid coach. Who, by the way, if the Lions don't duplicate their success next year, go to the Super Bowl next year, after the 2024 season, it should be Dan Campbell's last season in Detroit. Send his ass packing back to Texas. Send him packing. First flight out of Detroit. If after next season, the Lions don't duplicate the success from this season, Dan Campbell needs to be fired. Give him one more year. Make that seat warm, baby. Make that seat warm, Sheila Hamp. One more year. Because your arrogance, your country arrogance and stupidity cost them the game. One more year. If you don't duplicate the success from this year to next year, after next year, you're gone. Going back to Texas, shovel some hay, wherever the hell you came from. I know you're from Texas, but send them somewhere else. Is Dan Campbell Wayne Fonts 2.0? Yes. And for those of you who say, well, the Lions had a good season, Dan, okay, well, Wayne Fonts had good seasons. Jim Schwartz had good seasons. Jim Cardwell had good seasons. But what happened to them? They got their walking papers. And it should be no different for Dan Campbell if after next season he don't duplicate the success from this season. They got to at least go to the Super Bowl. You can't regress next year. And guess what? The NFC North is going to be a lot tougher next season. Green Bay has gotten better. Chicago is going to get better. Minnesota's going to be the weak link. I don't know what's going to go on in Minnesota with their quarterback situation. Their defense is porous. Their defense stands a lot to be desired. The Minnesota Vikings, that is. So they're going to be the weakest link in the division. But Green Bay and Chicago are going to get better. The NFC is going to get better. Look at what and then you got the AFC. Look at what Jim Harbaugh, look at what he's building where he started with the LA Chargers. That's the AFC though. But the Chargers, their future is bright. He got the defensive coordinator from Michigan, Jesse Minter. I knew that was going to happen. And he also got the strength and conditioning coach from Michigan. So Chargers are going to be a lot better next season. Our conference is going to be better. Philly, Dallas is going to be in the mix. The 49ers are going to be in the mix. Philly's going to be in the mix. Green Bay, probably Chicago, Atlanta. Golden opportunity, Dan Campbell, and you blew it. You squandered it by being silly. You cannot afford to do that in the NFC Championship game. Yes, the Lions have a young team, but for those of us who watch sports and follow it, we know, particularly in the NFL, it is hard. Losses like the one that the Lions suffered last night, that loss, that's mentally traumatizing. It's hard for teams to get back from that. Should they? Yes. But look at the 2009, 2010 New York Jets. Mentally traumatizing losses, back-to-back years. And they haven't been the same since, that franchise, the New York Jets. 2009, 2010, when they had Mark Sanchez and Darrell Revis. The Jets have, and that's been, 14, 15 seasons ago? And the Jets haven't been back since. They haven't been relevant since then. And I hope that next season, the 2024 season, I hope it's not a repeat of the 1992 season. Because let me tell you what happened. I remember it vividly. I was 16 years old, 1992, 16. Young bull. I said the Lions will be back next season. They're going to come back and they'll go to the Super Bowl next year. And what happened in the 92 season? Guess what the Lions' record was? 5-11. 5 wins, 11 losses. 5 wins. 5 wins. That's right, 5. 5 wins and 11 losses after going 12-4 the previous season and going to the NFC Championship game, losing to the Washington Redskins. Well, the then Washington Redskins. They didn't even sniff the playoffs. Hell, they were dead last in their division. Yeah, they went back to the playoffs in 93, 94, 95, but they never recaptured that magic until this past season. 32 years later. I hope this is not a repeat of the 1992 season, next season, that is. I hope it will not be a repeat of the 92 season. I really do. Ironically enough, the 2024 season will be Dan Campbell's 4th season. The 92 season was Wayne Font's 4th season. See where I'm going with this? So, Dan Campbell, last night's loss is on you. Yeah, the players dropped Josh Reynolds dropped passes. He did. But despite that, they still had a chance to win. Dan Campbell did not put them in the position to win, particularly in the second half. They went away from what was working for them in the first half, running the ball. Why is Jahmyr Gibbs running that type of running play? That should be David Montgomery. He wasn't even in the game when that play occurred. David Montgomery was on the sidelines. Why are you putting Jahmyr Gibbs in that situation where he fumbled? Jahmyr Gibbs is not a power back. He's a speedy back. He's a slasher. Your power back is David Montgomery. Run the damn ball, man. Stick with what was working. You were bullying the 49ers. You came into their home and were bullying them. And you let them off the hook. To quote the words of the late Denny Green, you let them off the hook. Stick with what was working. Stick with it. It was working. Why abandon it in the second half and start just playing silly, just gambling. And it cost the Lions a trip to the Super Bowl. And Detroit fans, you should be mad at Dan Campbell. I said it on social media. Dan Campbell should have taken a separate flight back to Detroit from the team. If I'm a player on the Lions team, I am livid. You country ass bumpkin. You cost us a trip to the Super Bowl. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Well, man, you're man. You just gotta go out there, man. The grit, man. The grit, man. Yeah, you dumb country bumpkin. Look what happened. Look what happened. The grit. You gritted us out of the Super Bowl. Go back to Texas and chew some tobacco and milk some cows. I'm sorry. That just irks me. We was this close. 30 minutes. He blows it. Man, the grit, man. You just got to go out there, man. Man, you got to give it your all, man. The city, man. Man, the Lion fans, man. Man, shut up. We don't need to hear no more slogans. What are you, running for office? Oh, Wayne Fonts 2.0. And again, if they don't if they don't build up the success from last year or duplicate it and go further, send Dan Campbell packing. Send his ass packing. Bye. Bye. Man. Go to the airport, man. Detroit Metro. Go right down I-94. It's 15 minutes, 20 minutes away from Ford Field. Right down I-94 West, going towards Chicago. Bass packing. So long. Next. Makes no sense. Don't fire him now. My auntie in Detroit said he needs to be fired today. She wasn't messing around. She said Dan Campbell needs to be fired today. But I said, no, give him one more year. Give the bumpkin one more year. After next year, if the Lions don't go to the Super Bowl, if they regress next year in the offseason, yeah, drive them to I-94 West, going towards Chicago, drop them off at the Romulus exit, Detroit Metropolitan Airport. I-94 West, headed towards Chicago. On the left-hand side, it's the airport. Take the exit and drop his ass off. And then go back east toward Port Huron, back to downtown Detroit. And then start searching for a coach. If the Lions don't go to Super Bowl next year. I'm so serious. Because that didn't make no sense. That was an utter collapse. And speaking of utter collapses, Lamar Jackson, what the hell, man? This is why people criticize you. Because you don't show up in the playoffs. Great regular season player. You're gonna win the MVP, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. But what happens in the playoffs? You let Kansas City come into your home, and the game was within your reach. 17-7. You overthrowing receivers. You taking sacks. Players getting dumb penalties. A lot of it is on John Harbaugh. Yeah, I get it. But Lamar Jackson, you got to be a leader, man. In the playoffs, you disappear. You disappear. It's like David Copperfield shows up and just snaps his finger, and Lamar Jackson's gone. Great regular season player. MVP candidate. Well, he should win the MVP. Lamar Jackson deserves to be the MVP for this past season. No ifs, ands, buts about it. But in the playoffs, you disappear. I wanted to be a Lions-Ravens Super Bowl. Lions probably wouldn't have won that one. But if the Lions would have played the Chiefs, the Lions would have beat Kansas City. The Lions would have beat Kansas City had it not been for Dan Campbell's stupidity. But we'll never know, I guess. We could just imagine. We have to use our imagination. Like the Temptation say, just my imagination. Yeah, just my imagination running away from me. How fitting. They make no sense. Hit that thumbs up button, smash that thumbs up button down, hit the subscribe button so you would get notifications of when I do videos on here. Made no sense. Thank you, Dan Campbell. Dan Gamble. We have the Motor City Casino. We have the Windsor Casino. What's the other casino we have in Detroit? Motor City, MGM, I think. If you want to gamble, take your ass to the casino. Don't do it when we have a chance to go to the grand ball. Don't do that. Don't do it at then. Go to the casino and gamble. Go to Vegas and gamble. Oh, that would have been perfect for you. Had we won, we would have been in Vegas for the Super Bowl. You can gamble all you want there, but don't do it in San Francisco when you're up by 17 points. Made no sense. And you're judged by winning. You're not judged by having good seasons or a great season. If that was the case, then Wayne Fontes is a great coach. Jim Schwartz was a great coach. Jim Caldwell was a great coach. You're judged by winning championships, winning or losing. There's no gray area. Winning or losing. No gray, no in between. People want to settle for mediocrity. Not I. Winning is what you're judged by. Lamar Jackson had a great season. Should get the MVP. Probably will. But what happened when it counted the most? He folded like a lawn chair. Lamar Jackson is the Joel Embiid of the NFL. Joel Embiid has great seasons. I don't know if he's going to win the MVP this year because he's missed some games, and the NBA has this thing that if you miss 17 games, you're out of the MVP conversation. If you miss like 17 or more games, you're out of the MVP conversation. Meaning, if he plays in 65 or fewer games, he won't get the MVP, or he's not going to be considered for the MVP. And he's already missed 11 or 12 or something like that. But regardless, just last week, the brother scored 70 points on the San Antonio Spurs. That's great and all, but Joel Embiid, you get to the second round and you fold. You fold. Great regular season player. MVP candidate has been for the last 3 or 4 years. But he hasn't done it, he hasn't gotten it done in the playoffs. He has not gotten it done in the playoffs. Lamar Jackson has not gotten it done in the playoffs. That is why I forgot his name on Sportsmanlike. He referred to Lamar Jackson as the Joel Embiid of the NFL. And it's true, he is. You're judged by winning. Winning. The old adage, winning isn't the only thing, winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. That is true. That adage is so true. Winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. That adage is so true. On behalf of Lions fans, it's a Monday. I know it's a rough day going back to the office, going back to work, imagining what could have been. Going to bed last night, imagining what could have been. Us going to Vegas. I'm sure Baltimore fans are feeling the same way. We gave that game to the 49ers. We gave it to them. We gifted it to them. It was a late, a month Christmas present, a month after Christmas present, a month after Christmas present. That's what that was. Hey, we didn't get you enough for Christmas, but hey, take the game. Merry Christmas. Our coach don't want us to win, so Merry Christmas, Kyle Shanahan. Here you go. Go to Super Bowl. We gave them the game. Gave them the game. And it makes you wonder about how NFL games are fixed. I know people say, don't, I heard someone say, well, that's beneath you. Don't do the conspiracy thing. You have got to be the most gullible, naive person if you don't believe these games are not fixed. I'm going to repeat that again. You have got to be the most gullible, naive person if you do not believe that these games are not fixed. Come on. How fitting Kansas City and the Niners are back in the Super Bowl 4 years after the fact. We see Taylor Swift's ugly, bony, white ass plastered all over on TV. Whenever Trevor Kelsey scores a touchdown, it's Taylor Swift. Her ugly, bony, white ass. They plaster her on TV. The Super Bowl, they're going to plaster her on TV. She's generated billions for the NFL. I posted that on my social media. On social media, she's been generating billions for the NFL every time they show her. It's a marketing. I mean, it's a genius marketing move on her part. I'm not mad at her. I'm mad at the NFL. Genius move on her part as far when it comes to marketing, because she's marketing her brand. But it's taken away from the game though. This stupid robot vacuum cleaner we have. So I could tore something up. Oh well. I'll deal with that in a little bit. But it takes away from the game. Because every time Travis Kelsey scores a touchdown or whatever, they're going to Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift. It's annoying. The first time they showed her, it was cute. Okay, good. Great. But every time the Chiefs play, they always showing this chick. Always. And it's annoying. But smart marketing tool on her part because she's generated billions for the NFL and for herself. You don't think that was planned? And now they're going to Las Vegas to the Super Bowl against the 49ers, who they faced 4 years ago. And now, yeah, how fitting. I saw a meme that said Roger Goodell was on the phone and was like, I don't want Baltimore. I'm not going to say that word. I don't want Baltimore Ninjas and Detroit Ninjas going to Vegas. Funny meme, funny, but it's a lot of truth. It's a lot of truth behind it. It's like it was a um y'all seen this meme before with the brother with the receding hairline with the glasses with the he was on the phone and it was like Roger Goodell on the phone with the NFL and was like, we don't want Baltimore Ninjas and Detroit Ninjas converging on Vegas or something to that effect. And it's true. Two predominantly black cities. In blue collar cities, cities that have had tough times. Baltimore has suffered through crime and just problems in their city, as with Detroit. So they have a lot of similarities. Hold on one second. I hate that damn thing. I hate it. I hate it. It's too low. It's too noisy. It makes me. I don't like screaming. But yeah, they didn't. But yeah, Baltimore has had their issues in their city, and Lord knows Detroit has had its issues. It claimed bankruptcy 11 years ago. Filed for bankruptcy 11 years ago. So, two predominantly black cities, or in the urban America, industrial blue collar cities. No, we don't want them in the Super Bowl. So we have Kansas City and San Francisco. Well, they played 4 years ago. So Brock Purdy, you know, he's a feel good story. So there you have it. Wouldn't be surprised if they have Kansas City win the Super Bowl yet again, because now the Chiefs are considered the new New England Patriots. Patrick Mahomes is now like this generation's Tom Brady. And the last team to go back to back and win the Super Bowl were the New England Patriots. 03, 04 New England Patriots. The last team to go back to back. So it'd be fitting that they have back to back Super Bowl champions. The 2022 Chiefs, the 2023 Chiefs. Tom Brady didn't have any receivers on those Patriot teams. He just had who did he have a tight end? Well, he had Rob Gronkowski years later, and then he had Randy Moss years later. But hell, Patrick Mahomes don't have any receivers. All he have is Travis Kelsey. He just Rob Gronkowski. How fitting. How fitting for the NFL. They had an agenda. So, and every time you turn on the TV, you see Patrick Mahomes on the State Farm commercials. How fitting. Or a shampoo commercial. No other quarterback. Lamar Jackson don't have commercials. Wonder why. MVP candidate. He don't even have commercials. Maybe in Baltimore, like local commercials there, but he don't have national commercials. Patrick Mahomes do. Hmm. Tom Brady did. Hmm. So Patrick Mahomes is the new golden boy, and the Kansas City Chiefs are the new New England Patriots. This is what the NFL wanted. Congratulations. Hit that thumbs up button, smash that thumbs up button down. Hit that subscribe button so you get notifications on the new videos on here. On that note, I'm gonna hop off of here. I think I made my point well known. I'm not happy with Dan Campbell. I'm not. I'm very upset that he squandered the Lions' chances of going to the Super Bowl with his ignorance and stupidity. I'm not pleased with that. One more year. If you don't go to the Super Bowl next year or regress, Dan Campbell, pack your bags and drive west on I-94 heading to Chicago. Get off at that exit. You'll see it. You can't miss it. You see a big old building, a huge buildings. You see airplanes flying left and right. Airplanes flying, airplanes landing, airplanes flying out, landing. That's Detroit Metro Airport. Get your ass, you and your wife and your family, get your asses on the exit, go around. Forgot what exit that is. Is it the Telegraph exit? Forgot what exit that is. It's in Romulus. Anyway, get off at the exit, take that left, and then just go to the airport, go to the gate, and take your flight back to Texas or wherever the hell you come from. Because you get your ass out of Detroit if we regress next year, if we don't go to the Super Bowl next year, after the 2024 season. If we regress in the 2024 season, after next year, pack your damn bags, brother, because you out of there. You out of there. We're gonna send a hick back home. All right. Now, with that being said, I'm gonna hop off of here. Y'all have a blessed and wonderful day. Y'all be safe, beware, and be aware. Please beware and be aware, brothers as well as sisters. I love y'all. Please drop your comments below. Let me know what you think. I want to hear your opinions. Please, 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 please drop your comments. Again, like I always say, we don't have to agree, but let's agree to disagree without being disagreeable on topics such as this too, even though it's sports related. In the grand scheme of things, it's not that important. But we're just having talk about sports, kind of like our my barbershop, and y'all are my visitors, and y'all, we can just talk, chop it up with one another, but use logic in your opinions. That's all I ask. But let's agree to disagree without being disagreeable. Please, let's do that, y'all. Please. Share this video, share it, share it, share it. Hit the like and subscribe button, and support the podcast and support my channel. Need y'all love and support. Brother can't do it without y'all. So next time, I love y'all. Take care. I'm out. Assalamu alaikum.